What's up, my chaotic crew? Bentley Michaels here. Hey, have you gone to awesomedice.com yet? Have you used our promo code chaotic for 15% off your order? I have. I got my dice in the mail just the other day. They're awesome. Head on over to our Patreon. Head on over to our Instagram and our Twitter feed, and you can see them. I've taken pictures for them. They're very, very cool. The white and blue ones I'm going to be using as Cinder's new dice. I'm thinking maybe the red and black ones, maybe they're Ren dice. I'm unsure. But speaking of that Patreon slip up earlier, have you gone over to Patreon yet? Have you subscribed? It's only $1, and you get an unbriefing episode every single week, just like this week, the first Thursday of every month, we release a free one where we break down the show right after we got done playing it. Also, leave us a review on iTunes, on Podbean, wherever it is. But, for now, music.
In a vast landscape full of adventurers, you are now listening to the world of chaotic amateurs.
And welcome back to Chaotic Amateurs, iTunes D&D's best 5e podcast on the internet. So says I, Bentley Michaels, your host and DM for Season 3. To my right, we have
Caleb as Cinder Darkloft.
Dash as Peleus Eoner.
Rat as Durok Dragonsburn.
And Milo is Ren.
Sorry.
And last time, our adventurers took off across the landmass of Boglait. They made it to Major Outpost number 6. After a little bit of shenanigans of Cinder whipping a apple in half out of Durok's hands, and Ren taking half of it and then eating it, they get into town to see a execution of sorts by Grag Battle Scalper, the large orc that seems to be in charge of this militia, wearing the outfit that the guys had seen before in Bulgurum. They got some information from everyone's favorite NPC Prolp, and then they went into the quote unquote bar, and Peleus introduced himself, saying he wants to be an investor in whatever goods and services they have going on here. And Grag had looked up at him and said, "I know who you are, and welcome, Ren and Friends." And that is where we are for this week. So, the adventure begins.
Okay, fantastic. So you know who we are, and that's awesome. Anyways, we are looking to invest in some prime real estate around here. Get in on some of this mining you're doing, mining for gold, right?
Please,
wink, wink.
please sit down, have a drink with us.
Oh, you're friendly. Fantastic. And Peleus pulls up a chair and sits down.
Yeah, I'll walk up next to Peleus and sit down.
I'll say that there's a big enough table that they were kind of in the corner and they were sort of around this, corner boothish table. But out in front, there's a couple of, there's chairs, or you can just grab a chair. There's no one in there and just drag it up and,
I would also like to make an insight check to see if they are going... if they're actually friendly or if they are just kind of putting on a facade.
Okay.
Durok can tell they're putting on a facade without rolling.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Insight?
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 26.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
So, and what are you looking for exactly?
If they're actually friendly, if they're planning something like behind the scenes, like signaling to someone.
Basically, their whole plan is
So
you don't
numbers.
You don't see any sort of hand signals. While you don't trust the person, there seems to be no immediate threat to you. Okay. No one has changed body language. No one is slowly moving towards a hidden pocket or anything. They're just sitting there drinking.
That's what I was looking for.
When the guy told you to sit down, the other two sort of sat back and relaxed.
Yeah, I'll motion for Durok to come in.
You guys were all over there.
Sure, yeah.
Have a seat.
Is there a seat? Yeah.
As I said, you can grab a chair, pull one up.
I sit down closest to Greg.
Come on, fellas. Come on,
Well,
sit down.
you can't. They're on the other side of the table. So
Cinder-
it would be like you guys sitting and looking at me right now.
Hey, Cinder, come and
there's
sit
a
over
table.
with us.
Then I sit like directly across from Greg.
Okay.
And I turn my chair backwards
You
and I sit down.
To look
a
like
cool
Will Riker.
teacher.
You mean exactly like Yamhorn in episode 1
Yeah.
of season 2?
But here's the thing. Yamhorn didn't have a
So
hat.
basically, all you want to do is play Yamhorn with different abilities.
No. So
A whip. That's
So-
the only thing. I would have given Yamhorn a whip.
Cinder has a hat though. I need to make that distinction.
Oh, okay.
Cinder has a hat.
And he turns it backwards.
Oh! Shoot.
And now we can begin.
They all get up and run out of the bar. They're like,
That's right.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Cinder?
Okay, I turn it back.
like an audience at the Apollo on a good joke. They all just stand up and like get out of the. They're like, oh shit.
Oh
Backwards
shit! This guy
hat
can
over
throw his
here.
hat around. I didn't even know we could do that. You know,
Yes.
all the hats, they're like 360-degree hats over here. You know.
That's the thing. It's like an Indiana Jones hat, so it's not that different when I turn it backwards.
Yeah.
So-
That's a fedora, by the way.
Okay.
Long brimmed
Heavens
fedora.
no.
All right, so
Anyway,
It's a long brimmed fedora.
Greg and friends, Ren and friends. Now we are all familiar with each other.
I'm just going to assume that you guys are sitting at me like you are sitting at me now. So when I address your
that
characters,
seems easy enough.
that's cool.
I put both my elbows.
I'm going
up
to take
on
a
the
picture of this for later.
So we can understand, and let's all establish this, that you guys know what we are, we know what you are, and also I understand that you have, you know, a large contingent of troops on this landmass, right? Would I be correct in assuming that?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Yes, but they're not
Yes.
here now, are they?
Well, I mean, there's at least 100 of us here in this town.
No, but right now, in front of me, a powerful wizard, it's just you and two friends. Correct? Standing, sitting, cornered
together.
in front of a wizard who has killed 35 men at once with a snap of his fingers.
Sounds rather intimidating.
Oh, would be correct in assuming this, yes?
Cinder unfurls his whip to kind of add an exclamation point to it.
Now,
Yeah.
simmer down. I'm a congenial pirate / wizard. You just locked some information about this landmass that we are here to visit. We're
All
just
right.
on vacation, per se.
All right. He doesn't look at all bothered.
Oh, come on.
So, what are you guys digging for, huh? What you digging for? Come on, Greg.
Come on, Greg. Answer the man's question.
Come on.
He just looks at you and takes a swig, and he looks at you. We're just here to facilitate the workers that have been mining this landmass for years so we can continue all of the same trading embargoes and routes that have helped facilitate the entire world.
Okay, vague. Vague is not really.
I'm sure they got on just fine before you, right?
So what was last said?
Greg told me that they're here just to facilitate the workers, make sure
we're
that
here
they
to facilitate the
keep the work
workers and
continued.
make sure everything is going according to how everything is.
And Durok said they were doing fine before you guys got here.
Sure they were, but I'm following orders. I'm here to do what I'm supposed to do, and productivity is up around the world over 150% since we got here.
Well, Greg, I am impressed. You seem like a real hard worker and a man of no muss, no fuss. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, what are you digging for?
By the way, you're sitting across from that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Am I supposed
Cinder
to be
puts
impressed?
his whip away.
And you would imagine that he's probably at least 8 feet tall, if not bigger, and almost as wide as he is tall.
Not even twice as tall as Durok. You guys are fine.
So I don't like all of this speaking in riddles and
It's
playing.
not really speaking in riddles. He's telling you exactly
Not
the answers to questions
telling
that
us
you're
the
asking.
full truth that we're asking for.
That's you. How would you know that?
That's the way I feel.
Because he rolled a 26 insight.
And I told him he believes everything that is coming out of this person's mouth.
He also said he wasn't completely trustworthy.
Okay, let Milo play Ren, everyone. Go for it.
I'm going to cast Zone of Truth. So a 15-foot radius. They need to make a charisma saving throw.
All right.
Orcs aren't very charismatic.
What's the number?
Thanks.
17.
Oh, jeez.
19.
Oh, damn. And the other two? If they...
17. 17.
What?
Cool.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's some very charismatic.
What's their charisma modifier?
Plus 3.
Bull. It's plus 3.
Look at the book.
Show me the book.
Here's
It's
what's
right there.
Bring it up.
Page 246.
And
Okay,
they
we're
know
getting
that I
off
cast
track.
a spell.
That's what I was just going to say.
awesome.
Here's what's interesting. They know that he just cast that.
Okay. You can look at my notes then as well if you'd like.
I didn't know Durok was also the DM. That's crazy. Wait a second. This isn't the game I signed up for. I'll tell you what's likely.
But yeah, I cast Zone of Truth, and they recognize it.
Okay. So like what happens as far as that spell goes?
So it has a vocal component, and I
Like is
move
there
my
like a
hands
feeling
around.
that they get or
Yeah, they recognize that someone tried to cast a
Okay, I just didn't know if there was like a Okay. So he looks right over at you and kind of shakes his head back and forth and he's like, "What are you doing?"
I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same level. I wanted everyone here to be truthful. Ren and Friends
I don't
is
know
always
you
truthful.
and
I think you should be truthful too.
I don't know you, nor do you have my respect. So you get the answers you get for the questions that you ask. And if you do anything like that again, I don't care who your wizard friend is. There will be problems.
He just locks a cassette on all of our friends. I mean, he does it at dinner parties. It's a fun parlor trick, you
It's
know?
more for Durok and Peleus, really.
Yeah, I am a known
That's why it's a zone.
bold-faced liar, so he's just keeping me in check. So, you know, really, it's for your benefit, actually. So you're welcome, honestly. You should be more grateful. Okay, so...
He's like, I'll let it slide this time.
So Ren's a little red in the face,
it's
Like
all right,
embarrassed
then.
or mad?
a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Also, it's hot outside.
Yeah.
all right, so you're just here facilitating the digging, so you're probably not, like... They don't tell you what you're digging for, huh? You just kind of oversee things. You're not all that important.
You're just kind of a peon.
Yeah.
Sure. If that helps your egos, sure. That's what I'm here. I'm here to facilitate... What do I call it? Major Outpost number 6. In this town of Broadkel. I'm in charge of Major Outpost number 6. And I facilitate mainly getting the precious metals here. There's also forgers and other people here that make weapons, those sorts of things. Very specific things that we ship out, sell for high prices around the world.
What kind of specific things do you make here?
Swords, weapons, spears, things made of metal that go stab, stab, stab.
Have you,
Alrighty.
Shields.
have you
I'm getting
found
a-
anything unusual or interesting in these mines?
Why are you all really here? You're asking a lot of very unique questions, little spellcaster.
Well,
I like we're all looking at Milo right now.
we've got this half of a sword. I think Durok, you have this sword.
Still
I
wrapped
do.
in a tiger belt.
Are you making up for last episode where you didn't spill the beans and now you're like, let's just...
That's why I was
all
looking
the
around at
beans,
you guys.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, okay. you want to show me? We're looking for the other hat.
We're looking for the other half of this sword.
Yeah, this sword.
Supposedly somewhere here on this
Sid
quote
said-
unquote landmass.
Lady in the yellow. It's like related to her.
Ah, yes, the dragon that hasn't been seen unless you believe the folklore.
And you got a dragon on your armor, so
Yeah, Zarvok. I've heard he's back.
you just like believe in what you hear, but
Well, I've seen it.
And And now
he laid waste to outpost number 3.
Hmm.
And I also heard that he was down in Bulgurum recently.
Yeah, he was what some might call my
Durok's back.
Durok's back.
Yes, I heard there was quite the kerfuffle. Lights in the sky, battles. But Bulgurum, I heard it was pretty well attacked. A lot of rebuilding to do there. That's
Yeah.
what our island provide, or our landmass provides. Tools, supplies.
So you guys are doing good things here, it sounds like.
It doesn't look like it from what he did to the goblin outside.
From the
Ah, the
enslaved
goblin,
people.
yes, the goblin that was hoarding supplies, stealing from other goblins, not giving, not being thankful for the supplies and rations we give them. It's based upon what they bring in, and if they can't do the work and feed themselves, then they can't. They can't. And how dare that goblin break the rules? Just a friendly little reminder. Follow the rules and you'll be fine and get your daily rations.
And your next
Do better work.
Gotcha.
If we are just sharing friendly little reminders, well, you know what happened to Bulgurum when I got involved. Just know that there's
People
no...
ran into the end of my sword.
You should know that there's no limit to what I'll sacrifice or kill who gets in my way.
Well, so far, I'm stuck with my back in a bar, and you guys intruded upon me, so...
No, we just came here for a drink, actually. Just happened
Yeah.
to be funny that you were here.
If I may, Greg, to be honest, I kind of roped him into my thing. This is really my old deal, yeah. This one's on me. Well,
The
Greg,
wizard who isn't casting spells, I appreciate it.
yeah, I'm a congenial wizard. Yeah, I'm a benevolent wizard. So, well, Greg, do you enjoy your current employment opportunities? You
Because we
enjoy
can
what
make
you're
that
doing?
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being here. I'm in charge. I'm taken care of. I'm paid well. A little hot for my liking. And as he says that, you kind of notice, in comparison to like the half orc Yuri that you saw and like any others that were like in Bulgurum, his skin is definitely dry and sort of cracked, and he definitely looks a little more leather worn in the face.
Ren, don't you have some ointments you could maybe help this gentleman out?
Don't give this guy ointment. Cinder. Really?
What? I don't know. I mean,
He's got a charisma modifier of +3 without your ointment. He's fine.
Okay, gentlemen, I feel like I need to break some tension here. There's a lot of sexual tension in the air. Are we going... Durok, do you want to fight them?
Look,
You're saying this all in
Oh
front
yeah,
of him?
are you
in
saying
character.
this out loud?
I am saying this out loud.
he puts Durok on the spot, who
he
like looks
chortles.
at everybody, and he's like,
Greg chortles.
I mean, yeah.
We can move the tables and you guys can have at it if you want. I feel like...
Look, a
Now,
fight's not
Greg.
worth having if it's not organic.
How about this? Durok beats you in a friendly little battle. You tell us anything we want to know within a zone of truth. You have to agree to a zone of truth.
I have already told you everything completely truthfully. Why I'm here, what's going on. I've answered all your questions, and I don't have to do anything.
Can I roll an insight on that statement to see if that was truthful?
Sure.
Non-natural 20.
Okay. Then you believe him to be telling the truth. You also just sort of get like, I wouldn't say that you think he's lying. You just think that he's very, very cocky. And he's just being very flippant in answering your questions. And if anything that you would feel that he is holding back, is either things that you haven't asked yet, or the fact that you guys just came up and accosted him, and
Right.
if this were you and someone
I'd
was just
act
like,
the
what's
same
your
way.
business?
Yeah.
Tell me all your secrets. You would probably be like, who the are you? Back up.
So I guess
All reasonable points.
feeling that getting that kind of a response, I put my hand on Durok's hand and push his sword back into his sheath.
Why are you assuming the sword? Oh.
And I say, gentlemen,
We should cosplay one of these episodes just so you could constantly be like pulling out a plastic sword. I gotta get a billowy shirt for Dash.
Yeah.
I think we should just get our drinks, get our food, and head out.
Oh.
But I don't run the
All right.
show.
Well,
Okay.
Greg, you have been nothing but incredibly
Oh,
helpful.
your drinks have been brought to you by this point.
Oh.
So
All
you
right,
guys are all
let's-
sitting around.
and
Let's
I'm
down
sipping
it and
the beer.
go.
Oh, anyway, you guys
Well-
want to change the topic here? I mean,
Well, Greg, we're going to go ahead and polish off our drinks, and you have been more than helpful. Seriously. Honestly, if you wanted to get into public relations, I think you would do well. You've got quite the charisma. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and polish off these drinks and then bugger off somewhere else and leave you to your fun neck snapping and mine digging and slave driving.
yeah, have fun, punishing and
Yeah.
enslaving a race, like
And-
literally maybe a third your size.
And ruining lives. Yeah, you seem really good at it. Yeah.
Oh, you guys are hilarious. Are you sure we can sit here and drink and have a good time?
Did you catch the game?
There's
last week?
also a place I could set you up in if you guys need to rest for the evening. At this point, it's only about 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon-ish or something like that, but it's a very long journey to anywhere else on this land mass.
Sure.
Wow, you are
we might as well take
incredibly
the suggestion.
hospitable.
I mean,
I would love that.
you
Set
can't
us
even-
up with a room.
But they can't even stop a dragon from annihilating one of their outposts. Blah, 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 blah. So, like,
Durok, he's just offering us a place to stay.
Don't insult the man. I'm sorry. He's a dwarf. They're short-tempered and short-sighted. So,
well, it's not just that I'm short-tempered, but I have limited patience for green-skinned lizard milkers.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
Cinder
Yeah, now,
pushes
Durok.
Durok away.
I did not know
There's
he was
definitely
racist.
bristling amongst the three people when you said that.
Oh.
Also, Bentley DeRette, that was awesome. But Greg, not happy. You see his hands sort of clench around, and you see all the shoulders sort of get tense, mainly his, and then the other guy sort of follow suit.
So these guys seem like they're trying to do right by us. They've obviously heard of the power of Ren and Friends. Our story has gotten far.
Yeah. No, they're guys.
I think your insult was maybe a little over the top, Durok.
A little racist.
Oh, is that an
I'll be
insult?
honest. It seemed a bit insult. They didn't. I don't think they liked it. You look at Greg's face. Oh, he doesn't like that. No, he didn't like that at all.
Oh. I apologize for relaying to you what I just assumed was a universal truth.
Okay, and you
All right.
twisted the knife. All right.
No,
cool,
I
great.
honestly, I will examine my personal biases. Seriously, I didn't know that you were so thin-skinned.
At this point, Cinder casts Minor Illusion, and there is suddenly an orc that comes through the door and hopefully catches Durok's attention.
Well, his back is to the door at this point.
Would you turn to acknowledge an entering
Hey,
orc?
can you please look around and look at my
goes
minor
in with this illusion? Are there sounds?
No, it's visual. This
Then
one.
his back is to
I
it.
pretty much have my back turned.
But would you hear the door?
Does the
Does
I
it
guess I
is
would
it a
hear the door.
physical manifestation
Yeah,
that can interact
yeah.
with other things?
Okay,
Yeah.
if the door makes a sound, then yeah, I would turn.
I like
Okay.
that you guys assumed that there was a door.
Oh.
Because one of you said it
Well,
was
he
like
got thrown out.
I thought it was like a
I
saloon.
did.
No, he didn't
I
get
know,
thrown
I
out.
know.
You guys were
I'm
making
kidding.
jokes.
I thought it was like a saloon where it's like,
Yeah, it's not. It's just a hovel that has a
okay,
space.
so yeah, I don't hear anything.
Okay, then the Minor Illusion walks in front of your face. Do you
Through
see
the
it now?
table?
Yeah, through the table.
He would immediately recognize it's an illusion, and it would
No.
disappear.
Okay, in front of your face doesn't mean like.
Yeah, he walks up behind me and he goes like this or something.
He's
Yeah.
facing the wall and a table.
So think of it this way: we're
You guys
in
are being weird.
Walk through the table,
Yeah,
though.
there is a person that walks up into his vision.
well.
Okay.
Think of it like this: if this were a table, and you guys were sort of sitting around it, and there's a wall here, it would be coming from that way. So it would literally have to walk up right beside him and go like what they do, like wave his hand in front, or
All I want is for this thing to get into his vision, so he is distracted for a moment.
Maybe the bartender says something, and then I can turn and like look at it.
Yeah, why don't you make a glass crash or something?
Because I don't have that spell.
all right. So that's what you want to do. Do you have to roll for anything?
Let me check.
Isn't
I
minor
didn't
illusion?
know I was going to get so much flack about
Isn't
it.
minor illusion you can create a sound?
I think I can. Let me check.
You just make a glass.
Like I thought it was like you can create like a couple
Okay.
senses.
I can create a sound.
You do have that
And you
spell.
do have to save it. So that's why we're chaotic amateurs.
How long is that spell you have to read?
Well, it's harder when everybody's whistling in my ears, so this is all you.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you hear outside of wherever we are that
Okay.
apparently doesn't have doors.
All right.
You hear a sound that sounds like somebody saying Durok.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I would naturally
All right.
turn that.
What does he have to roll for it?
It didn't.
I didn't. I gotta read it.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah,
What's the number he's got to be?
13.
All right.
Damn, 13.
Please fail. Did you crit? What
I
did you-
rolled a 20, non-natural.
Okay, well, so
So
what
he
do you
hears it?
do when you hear Durok outside?
Well, I hear it, and I naturally would turn.
Okay, so Durok turns around and sees a bartender with his back to him, like classically shining a glass, and he sees, he can see outside. People are walking around.
Okay, and I step in and I say, our friend is obviously hearing things. Let's go.
I imagine Greg is watching all of this,
Yep.
all of us, and just thinking,
Like I
how
said-
have these guys accomplished anything? These guys seem like idiots.
I'm Greg, and you guys are sitting exactly where you are. So I'm just watching. That's why I keep looking at
Yeah.
you. So he
Oh, Durok, you hear that?
even
Let's-
Greg looks
somebody's
up and
here
he's
for
like,
me.
You got another friend here or something? Is
I
there
get.
an-
I look. I'm so sorry. Normally, professional courtesy would dictate that I sit here and I keep flexing on you. But honestly,
I think there's a fan outside. So.
well, I don't. A fan? No, I don't think so. But maybe
I'm just
somebody.
trying to stroke your ego, that's all. You've got an ego.
You guys argue a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, we're not the most organized group of adventurers.
I've heard of another group that was said by Peleus. It was called Ren and Acquaintances.
That one as well, yes, yeah.
Look, Greg, I get it. You can gag me. We're gonna go. I think somebody's out here. No? All right. That was.
I'll go ahead and
hit and
stand
miss.
up
Swing and a miss.
and pull out one of my Ulagon pamphlets
On the chair.
and I put it on the table and be like, just kind of read this over and maybe you'll understand a little more about who we
you
are and
guys-
what we do.
You guys could use
And he
more.
grabs it
religion.
and looks at it, and he's like, yeah, I'll read it.
Cool. And then I'll start heading towards the door.
Okay, as soon as you turn around, he throws it over his shoulder.
Greg, we are not in any way affiliated with Ulagon. It's just his thing. I am personally not
I
very
put my
religious.
hand on Peleus' shoulder and pull him away. Let's go, guys.
All right, we're gonna go. It was good talking to you,
Yeah,
Greg.
read that over. You could use some manners.
Actually, no, I'll take that pamphlet. I assume you probably can't read.
Yeah, it's probably true.
I'll just
he
give it back to
picks
him.
it back up. He
So are
crumbles
we
up in a
fighting?
ball
Is
and
that
like
what this is?
basketball tosses it to you.
You're
You can grab it.
Thank you.
Do you want me to just whip him?
Okay, so we're gonna just leave the bar now.
Thank
Okay.
And
I
then
love how it
Peleus
just, like,
lights it on fire
antagonizes
and
you.
kills them. We stand outside waiting for them to come
For
out.
them to run out on fire at disadvantage.
That same minor illusion calls out whatever that guy's name is.
Greg?
Great.
Yeah, Greg. No, it doesn't. Okay, can we go, guys?
I thought we had to beat this guy up. Forgive me.
I think he told us everything we know.
Yeah.
So
at
let's
least for now.
At least everything we asked.
Yeah.
So how long would it be to go to like the outpost number 1? I'm assuming.
Oh, we should probably take a look at our map and see if anything else is
And
appeared on it.
And I think you said it was around noon or 1 or 2.
Yeah, noon or 1.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look at the
So
map.
we've got time if we want to hang around town a little bit longer.
Do
are
I
those
see-
hotel rooms still up for grabs that he offered us?
Dang it, we forgot to ask.
I will say that if you would like to go over there and say that Greg sent you, you might have success.
Okay.
All right.
Let's count on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, what does the map look like?
Yeah, can I roll to see if anything has changed on the map?
Sure.
Just
No, you don't have to roll for it. You
Oh.
can, because you hadn't looked at it in a little bit, because it was starting to zoom in. Now, when you look at it, it looks like a gooder version of what I've drawn out here, which is the complete layout of the town. You can see like the hovels; they seem to be incredibly accurate as far as like as far as just like line drawings. It looks like a complete full D&D 5e Wizards of the Coast map that is absolutely fantastic, with buildings and different things. Nothing is labeled as far as bar like I have in mine, but my sweet Sharpie drawing. But you recognize everything. If you would like to walk around the town, you can see the big thing in the middle, which I call Trade Post. That seems to be, think Force Awakens, what Ray would go to at the end of the day, where you would bring whatever it is that you were mining. You get your rations. Maybe I stole directly from the movie. And, if you're around in front of that, as you can see on the drawing, if you're around in front of it, up to the left, you see tons of apartments on the entryway in. You saw tons of quote-unquote apartments or living quarters. Behind you is the hotel and the supplier. Then you see like a shipping area that looks like a little bit more efficient. And I forgot to draw it in, but up in the upper, so there's the bar, and then there's like this little curve right there. That looks more like a the sort of shop where they make all the stuff.
You guys, I feel like that visit was productive, but I feel like that guy over there pointing at Durok is a little too on edge for us to...
I'm not on edge. Cinder. You're new to the group, so maybe you're just unfamiliar with just a regular, not on edge demeanor.
Maybe you're right. I just feel like we've had more productive conversations with some of the goblin locals. So maybe we should stick to that. It's pretty early in the day. We've got some time.
I mean, none of the goblin locals killed somebody.
Let's head
That
to the
is
apartments. And
Yeah.
talk
All right,
to some
we're
of
gonna
the-
head to the apartments and see if
some of the goblin people.
anyone wants to
let's
give
do
us a
that,
room.
guys.
to
And look,
rent.
Mr.
see
Hotshot
any-
over here, he's super smooth talker, can control his demeanor about things. Why don't you talk to people then?
So the apartments and the living quarters you would know is not the hotel. There's a hotel specifically marked on there, quote unquote. But if you would like to go to the apartments that I have drawn out for you, you're more than welcome to.
I want to keep an eye out for any like posters or anything like that with like a
Wanted
fist
Ren and
or-
Friends.
or like a join the resistance thing or
Oh, okay.
anything along those lines.
Secret messages from goblins who want to kill all these orcs. 'Cause honestly,
And
Are there
not
any
alone.
bards around that I can talk to?
You do not see any bards. You see from when you the crowd is much more dispersed. Like the trade post lines are sort of back. The people that the goblins and a few other creatures of different heights are backed in sort of a line. It's a 4-post system, so there seems to be 4 tellers, if you will. So there's 4 lines, people holding, sacks and different containers. You assuming that what they had mined, and they're going up and they're, turning it in. You can see them getting their rations and that sort of thing. Some head off to the quote-unquote apartments that are drawn. Some head off back into like the more terrible shacks that were there on the time where you entered. In between the supplier and shipping area, that's another road that just has shacks like going out of the town. So you just sort of see them, you assume that this is probably the graveyard shift coming in, and that kind of thing.
I want to keep an eye out for the one that we saw in the window when we first got here. That kind of.
Oh, that was
ducked
just
away.
a person as you were walking in, and that was just sitting in a window. It was more for. I'll just tell you this. It was for cinematic effect.
Okay.
It was just for some flair.
I'm gonna find this person.
They've got to be here.
They must have answers.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we going into the apartments then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I just want to go talk
Gentlemen?
to some other goblins.
Okay.
Why are we walking up to random apartments? Like, what's our thing that's gonna get them to talk to us?
Yeah, why aren't we
like,
going
are
to-
we
You two are the
missionaries?
Ones who
Are we?
this.
Yeah, I could pull out my pamphlets. And
Okay, let's follow that. Let's
right.
follow that.
And I'm. Yep.
We're
All right.
all missionaries of Ulagan.
Does it? Okay. All right. Sure.
We all totally believe in
Yes.
that deity
Right.
and that it is super powerful and is great.
yeah.
And like honestly, they got to give up any sort of sinning.
Well,
Ulagan's a cool god, guys. I don't know if you knew
Hey,
this.
he's not some square.
Whatever.
I mean, look, sinning optional. Welcome to Ulagan.
Yeah. Don't hurt anyone and you'll be fine.
Even then, I've heard a lot of people. I'm Ren. Like,
All right, Ren. Have at it.
Yeah, Ren, you take the lead.
I just kind of want to take a look around the apartments, see if there's like a center that a lot of goblins go to, or like a town square, or if they got like
weight room.
There's
like
not
a watering
town
hole,
square.
or
No, it looks like a bunch of hovels just sort of stacked on top of each other. Some buildings taller than the other. It's very sort of like what am I trying to like think? Like in like Brazil, like where you see it on those hills. There's just like all those like metal sort of shanties and stuff like that, just kind of stacked, and it's very chaotic. There's not really. It's once again, it would be like they just found a whole bunch of supplies and they just kept building stuff because there kept being more and more things. It's very, very disheveled.
does anyone take notice of the four of us walking through this area?
Well, you can't really walk. There's not like a street. It's the open as drawn on the map. It's kind of like there's the open area, and then you go to that sort of section, and then it's just a bunch of squares, kind of, and you just kind of.
They kind of like walk through each other's houses to get to their house, kind of thing.
Yeah, and if you're lucky enough to have like an outside one, you don't necessarily have to have an entrance or whatever. But then there's little ladders, there's different things. Also, kind of think like the RV park and Ready Player One, that sort of thing, where they're all kind of stacked. Like there's definitely ways for people to get up to the top, different ladders and pulley systems and different stuff. It's very just mousetrap put together, and a strong wind could probably not. Peleus definitely would knock that place over if he unleashed any of his power.
Sweet.
I'm gonna keep that.
Peleus does that. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm your god now.
Then I'll
That's
do
all you
that.
had to say.
Welcome to Pain Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to talk to a goblin. If there's a goblin hanging out on one of the rooftops, or just
Sure, you can go up and talk to a goblin if you like.
Okay. Hello, friend. Ren, this is my friends.
Okay.
Maybe you've heard of us.
No,
Do you work here?
we all work here.
Well, yeah. What are you guys mining?
Moving along.
Do you guys like food?
Of course, we like food.
Okay.
What do you think?
Is this your house?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast create food. 45 pounds of food appear
Holy
inside of his house,
Okay.
and here's food for you.
I love that that's a spell.
And so he turns around and his eyes get wide and he like just shouts. He shouts out to everyone, and then like and it's just like all of a sudden people just start coming out of the woodworks, and they come down and and he just starts like handing stuff out to people, and they all like as quickly as they got in there, just like little cockroaches, as soon as the light comes on, they get their food, they're back up and they're hoarding, because this is within plain sight of the bar, and they all know that that's where Greg hangs out. And anything like this, like, and before you know it, there's no more food left.
So I'm just gonna kind of stand there and look around. I'm looking for maybe like an elder, like a goblin elder, or
I mean, you see older you see older goblins or
Does
something,
anyone
but there's
seem
not
to take additional notice of my charity?
your charity. Well, let me see.
Your
here.
benevolence.
Let me roll for it. Ooh, sure. With a 17, as you're looking around, you sort of see an older goblin just sort of curiously looking at you. And it's just sort of standing there staring with its arms crossed, but very curiously looking at you.
I'll walk up to him with like a big, Ren grin and
Okay.
kind of wave at him and be like, "Hello, friend."
What are you doing here?
I'm Ren. And these are my friends.
Okay.
And we were kind of just interested in what you've got going on in this town. We've heard some kind of negative things about the orcs, and I can't say that under my breath. And we were wondering...
What are you, spies? Are you a spy?
Well,
Is this a trick?
I don't think we're spies.
You don't think you're spies. That doesn't mean you're not.
Did you get some food?
No, I don't trust you.
Oh. Is there anything I can do to maybe help?
I think that you're here to trick me.
Do you have a lot of spies that come in here and try to trick you?
Oh, there's always trickery. You can't trust anybody. You can't trust these filthy orcs.
Do you all
always trying to keep us down?
We're not orcs, obviously.
That doesn't mean that you don't work for them.
Cinder,
Not everyone here is an orc.
Cinder pulls out a ration from his pack and holds it up. He doesn't say
take
anything.
It just looks at you almost in the same way that Probe looked at you, and very distrustful. Just yeah.
Cinder then lays it on the ground and says,
He kicks it back at you.
"For you and your family."
Kicks it back at you.
I don't pick it up. I
All
leave
right.
it there.
So I'm Ren. What's your name?
Yes, you're Ren. These are your friends.
Yeah. What is your name?
Jiash.
Jash.
Jiash. Jiash.
Nice to meet you, Josh. Your family live here, and you all work at the mine, I'm assuming.
Yes. What?
And what kind of things do you get at the mine? What have you been instructed to find there?
Metal.
Just metals? Has anyone found anything else?
I don't know what you're getting at, and I don't trust you. Why are you asking such weird questions? Is this a trick?
Nope, no tricks.
Yes, it is a trick. It's all a trick.
And
We're illusions. None of this is real. You're tripping balls, man. No, I'm just messing with you.
stroke.
No, just messing.
I'm just messing with you.
I kind of like look at everybody else.
You get the distinct impression, as I believe Peleus and Cinder did earlier with Probe, is that there are things that they do to mess with these goblins, where they will test their loyalty, and then if they screw up, then they get in trouble and they get punished. And it is things like that, which is why there is such a different variation of guard types. Not all of them are orcs, but there are plenty of other things. So you would imagine that sometimes maybe this scenario that you guys are inducing right now has happened before, that some weary travelers come out and ask whatever questions, and then maybe they saw something that had happened like that earlier.
Interesting.
Okay.
Maybe, which is why he's being so cagey. However, you two have already gone through this.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What's your name? Josh?
Giash. Like G and then Ash. Giash.
Would you feel like maybe talking to us a bit more if we just straight up murdered those orcs?
You're going to murder 100 guards?
No, just
Yes.
3. Oh,
Well, so you're going to murder the 3 that are in charge and then leave the other 97 to deal with you?
hey, you let us worry about that. I'm just asking a question.
No, because then what happens? You come in here, you think you're doing something heroic to stroke your own ego, and then we have to deal with it once you leave. There's thousands of them all over this landmass. You knock one down, so we're free for a day or two? You're out of your mind.
I'm
I
getting
mean,
the,
you'd be free forever if you
getting
really
the
wanted.
impression that these aren't the kind of Well, and they're goblins. They're not the kind to stand up for themselves, really,
I mean, I'm sure they outnumber the orcs.
by a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
What if we just start setting this place on fire? You know, just burn everyone inside their homes.
Yeah.
Just burn it to the ground.
Including Josh?
Yeah, no,
Well,
I mean
we
just
can
burn it
rescue
all.
him.
Oh,
I mean,
Thanos
just, yeah, I mean just straight up murder, just full on unabashed murder.
Then we'd probably,
Josh.
Then what, Josh?
be put on a transport and move somewhere else until they rebuilt this place.
Oh, no, that's really weird. You make it sound like you're going to get out.
Would
Oh
we-
no, I meant I'm gonna kill everyone. Yeah, no, all of you.
Oh, all over
we,
the.
We don't.
Oh.
We don't need to kill everyone, Peleus.
Well,
and,
Oh,
and
I
it's not
know.
necessary that we fight.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fun.
I lean over to Ren and I say, we're playing the bad cop. Just chill out for a second.
No, they're
good cop, bad cop. They're going to tell Ren what they want.
Okay.
Why
so-
are you guys in our town?
I guess
What are you
we better
doing
start
here?
Killing.
Have
What
you
are you
asked him
doing
about
here?
the sword yet, Ren?
If you're not here to trick me, then what are you doing here?
Ren, have you asked him about the sword?
I haven't yet.
What are
That's
you guys
kinda your
whispering
thing.
about?
Why don't you ask
Look.
him about the sword?
Kindly, Josh.
What did you say?
Kindly, Josh.
Oh, I thought you said tiny Giash.
No,
And I
that
was
would
about
be
to
disrespectful.
go inside and
no.
pretend to close my fake door.
I know what it's like to be.
I can't afford a door.
I know what it's like to be small in stature. Not as small as
You
you,
look
mind you, but
Big to me.
yeah, what I have in size, you make up for in character, no doubt. However,
Cinder can attest to that.
we're here looking for a sword. Half a sword, actually, but it looks like a regular sword to the untrained eye.
Roll perceptions.
14.
16.
16.
15.
Then you all visibly notice Giash sort of stand up straighter and tense a little bit, and his eyes furrow. What sword?
Well, you see this one?
And I bring out half the sword.
Okay.
Pull it out.
It probably looks like this, but like
Upon seeing
the
that,
opposite.
his eyes go wide. He starts to flip out.
Josh.
And the few people that are around start to come over and look at it and touch, and they're starting to mumble about the Lady of the Yellow, and more people start to hear it, and just almost like when the food was created, that sort of stuff, people start coming out and they form a huge circle around you all, and they're all trying to like move around and push around, and people are coming in and out almost like a weird swarm of ants, and they're just looking at it and touching it, and they're like, and Josh looks up at you and he says, "Where did you get this? You can't have this out in public. Are you crazy?
Okay, well, I do.
Put this
and
away right
I'm not
now.
going to put it away until you tell me
Put
what
this
I need
away.
to know.
You'll kill us all."
Is there a safe place where we could maybe talk about Sitset?
I'll put it away when you tell me where the other half is.
How would I know if I had the other half? What
Look at this sword, everybody!
Oh,
I don't think that was a good idea.
I didn't say it that loud.
I mean, you
held it up over your head, like
and you
He-Man in
you
the
just
street.
shouted it
and you're the tallest one in the crowd.
in the open
No, I'm
square.
not.
Oh,
No, I'm not. You guys are taller than me.
I think Ren was onto something, was saying, is there a
16
private
and
place?
19. You have the attention of two guards.
Good. Bring them
Their
over.
little bloops go off over their head.
Goes
And,
from question mark to
I guess I'm going to have to give them a little bloop over their head.
And then the little goblins all go like, "Oh no," and they all scurry back away into their houses.
We should follow them, clearly.
and they're scurrying away into their houses as they see the two guards.
What does Josh do? Josh.
Gosh.
He
Yeah.
scurries the heck away from you guys.
I grab him quickly.
You go ahead and roll sleight of hand for that.
Why would you grab him?
By the scruff of his
No,
collar.
why would you grab him?
I don't really want to lose him.
Have I seen that
You're
the
gonna
orcs are...
you're gonna get him murdered.
You haven't noticed because I would once again say that you were facing him towards the apartments and they're coming from the center of town.
I rolled the 2.
Okay, then you go, and he scurries back inside, and now you guys,
Josh!
now you guys are left there, And I'm going to say that one of you notices, you can decide which one of you notices the guard starting to come over.
Oh, good. Let's not fight him.
I got a 20 perception.
Okay, you
so.
definitely notice.
Durok, I think you brought some unwanted attention, and I think you're going to get the fight you want. Gentlemen, get ready.
We can talk our way out of this.
You?
Sirs, kindly sirs.
All right, here we go.
So you
Prepare
turn
your
around.
spells.
What do you do with the sword in the tiger pelt?
Oh,
You sling it back over your back?
Yeah, I hit it. Or I tucked it, away.
Okay. Because it does have a scabbard, and you decorated that scabbard with the tiger pelt.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Sirs, kindly sirs.
One
What
of them
sword
is
is
a
going
lady.
on over here? There's no supposed to be any swords around workers.
Of course, I'm so sorry.
Who are you?
Durok Dragonsbane. Of course, somebody was interested in my magnificent one-of-a-kind piece here, Draken's Toter, and I signal...
Draken's Toter.
Yeah, and in fact, I draw it and hold it out like this. And
So sorry. No doubt we got a little lost when your boss, Greg, gave us directions to the lodgings he promised us. This is a big town, that of... this town.
Rockle?
This-
Brodrickle.
For a small town
yeah,
dwarf such as
Broadkel.
myself...
Broadkill.
For a small town dwarf such as myself and my friends here, well, we got a bit turned around, and I hope you can understand. Maybe you could do your boss a service and show us to our rooms.
Did he say you could stay at the hotel?
Right, the hotel. That's
In
what he said.
more or less
yeah.
words, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he said he would have lodgings prepared. I just naturally assumed it would be where the lodgings were. We got turned around.
Just holding your sword up to your freaking head.
Put that sword away.
It's just like this. Eh?
And as you put the sword away, they sort of relax. And you also notice that, within 20 or 30 feet, there's patrols of guards walking all over the place. So, you notice that once they started engaging you, sort of farther off, there are definitely some looky-loo guards making sure that they don't need to come over. Like, all right, follow us to the hotel. You leave those workers alone.
Oh, so we're not in the hotel right now. Oh, okay. After you, kindly, gentlemen.
And now they point to the building and they said, get going.
Team? To the hotel, then.
All right.
You'll thank me for not killing them later.
I'll thank you now.
Okay, so you guys all go to the hotel?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You guys all enter the hotel,
Is it like 4 or 5 in the afternoon?
and that's where we leave it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much for tuning in and listening to this very RP-heavy episode. It's very interesting to see how everybody's doing all this stuff. I'm enjoying it. Make sure you subscribe, do all that stuff. To my right, we have...
Caleb is Cinder.
Dash is Peleus Earth.
Brett is Durok Dragonsbane.
Milo is Ren.
Thank you for joining us around our proverbial podcast table, and grab your swords and keep on adventuring.
Follow us across all platforms with Chaotic Amateurs. Please subscribe, rate, and review our show on your podcast app of choice to help us climb the charts and find new adventurers. Or become a patron on Patreon to help our heroes continue their quest. Thank you for listening to Chaotic Amateurs.